This whole course, I've already, arranged them in very simple English and very, very, very short definitions. I've already, put them in a PDF file, and I'll be leaving the link somewhere where you guys can have access to it so you can read. But if you check out this, course, all the modules, they are very, very simple. The definitions are like straightforward, hitting it. We don't want to, bore you with so much theories, with long write-ups for you to be reading, because I don't think anybody would even read it in the first place. But even if you read, I mean, just to get idea of what we are talking about, you know, music making is fun. It's meant to be fun. We don't want to bore you with too much reading. Instead, we are going to show you practicals, how we actually, make beats, make music in the DAWs. But before then, let's just, come to the introduction. Module 1, introduction to beat making. Now, what is beat making? Simple terms, no, long talk. Beat making is the process of creating the musical foundation of a song using drums, melodies, chords, bass, and other sound. If you're a music person, if you listen to music, even if you don't know how to create or make music, you listen to music. So I'm sure you'd have a hearing, or you have a good ear for music. You would realize that there are certain elements that are in any music. It must not be just Afrobeats. It could be any genre. You get you always hear drums. Not all songs carries drums though, but most of the times you hear drums, you hear chords, that's maybe piano sounds, you hear guitars playing, you'd hear bass sounds, and all these sounds. So the combination of all these sounds is what beat making is all about. So you, as a music producer, the ability for you to start up a track and fix in these elements, these instruments, these musical instruments, one after the other. The ability for you to do that and arrange them, and make the music appealing to the listener to listen to. I mean, that's what makes you a music producer. The ability to do these things. So adding drums, melodies, chords, bass, and other sounds. This is what makes you a music producer. So that's basically what beat making is all about. Making an instrumental without vocals. That's beat making. So type of beats or and genre. Type of beats and genre. Now there are different genres in the world. We've heard reggae, we've heard Afrobeat, we've heard hip hop, trap, R&B, jazz, smooth jazz. Like there's tons and tons of genres of music, you know. And whichever templates we'll be teaching you in this course, you can apply it to any other genre in the world. You can be creative. Music is an art. Music is all about you being creative. You understand? Music is all about you trying out something the world has not tried out before. And yes, they say nothing new under the sun, but then there is a way you can innovate. That's the word, innovate. You take out, bass instruments from here, maybe a bass they make use of in Arabian music. You try to infuse it in your Afrobeat creation. I mean, that's you being innovative, and that's what makes you stand out from other, music producers. Do you understand? So this course, at the end of this course, you should be able to, make music at least to a basic stage. And when you put in more practice, obviously, you're going to, become a pro music producer. So essential equipments. There are essential equipments you need as a music producer. These are basic tools needed to make beats, such as a laptop, headphones or speakers, audio interface, microphone, which is optional, and a MIDI keyboard, also optional. Now, for a start, I would advise we start with a laptop and a headphone. That is very, very important. You might not have the money to buy a speakers just yet, but the laptop and headphones, that's the first and basic equipment you'd be needing. Then an audio interface. It's also important, to be honest, because when you listen to your music, or when you make music through an interface, it's different from when you just make music, when you just plug in your headphones to your laptop or your computer and you're making it directly into your headphones. When you pass it through an audio interface, Okay, I'm going to, pull up a picture or a video in this to show you what an audio interface is. You must have heard of it. It's just basically called sound card. So this is what passes it interprets the audio from your computer or your laptop into your headphones or into your speakers. That's what it just does basically. And there are different types. There are tons different types, ranging from cheaper ones to the most expensive audio interfaces. I'll pull up. Oh, okay. We could even let's try and do a quick search on audio interfaces. So I'm trying as much as possible to not make this, you know, video so long. Okay, so basically this is what an audio interface looks like. You must have seen it before. This is sound card focus, right? They are expensive ones like the Apollo twins and all. So you can see this one is ranging around. They have the one for 230, 82,000, 77,000. So one thing you should know is you need to invest in your music. You investing in your music would help you to be serious about your craft. Yes, but if you do not have money for an audio interface, you can just start with the basic, which is your laptop and your headphones. But you really need to get an audio interface if you want to take music production seriously. And what next? A microphone is not really important at the starting phase of your musical production journey. You do not really need a microphone yet. It's for basically recording an artist, and I don't see you recording an artist at the early stage. You understand? A MIDI keyboard, if you know how to play the piano, it would be advisable for you to get a small MIDI keyboard. I have one. I'm sorry I didn't pull all this out, but I have one. I'm going to show it to you guys. So we can also search for a MIDI keyboard. Excuse me. MIDI keyboard. So just like the audio interface, this one also, it ranges from different prices. You can see there are smaller ones here for like 80K and 62K. Just look for the one that, but it's also optional. I mean, you can also use a piano roll inside FL Studio or whichever DAW you're making use of. So it's optional at the beginning stage. So I'm trying to not make the video so long because I'll still break all this down one after the other in subsequent videos. That's why I'm kind of in a hurry for this introduction video. Okay, guys. So what the next outline we'll be talking about is digital audio workstation. Now, what's a digital audio workstation? It's, you must have heard DAWs before. They call it DAW, DAW. So a DAW is a software used to create, record, arrange, edit, and mix music. Example includes FL Studio, Ableton Live, and Logic Pro. You understand? So basically, this is that interface, or it's a software where we actually make the music. We, record, edit, play our instrumentals, whatever. This is where we do the whole editing. FL Studio is quite popular. We all know that. I love FL Studio. I make use of FL Studio and a little bit of Logic Pro. I do not use Ableton Live for now. FL Studio is still my go-to DAW, and most of this course or throughout this course, we would be working with FL Studio more, okay, because it's simpler and it's faster to grasp. Setting up your DAW, I'm going to go into my DAW. When I load up my screen, I'll show you guys how to set up your DAW. So you have to get an FL Studio. You log into their website, which is imageline.com. When you log in, you have to purchase a license to own access to FL Studio. Although there are ways people bypass that. I'm not advising that, but there are ways people can bypass that if you don't have the money to get the license. But then get your FL Studio. When you're set, I'm going to show you guys how to set up your, FL Studio, which is your DAW. And then the number 6 outline, I would also be showing you guys how to understand the interface, everything inside of FL Studio. I'll be showing you guys in the next video. Um, Welcome once again to this masterclass. I don't know if I should call it a masterclass. Let me just call it a beginner class because this is like the basic. You understand? But trust me, there's a lot of nuggets in this course, and I'm happy and I'm glad to, share or, you know, teach you guys how to make music.